Just reviewing the student's project and just going to provide a few little pieces of feedback. Just kind of first thing here, I'm going to hide all these grids and level lines. Just find them a little bit distracting when we're working on it. There's a couple more here. Hide those. So kind of see what these students trying to do with these roofs, but I think it looks a little bit choppy. But you can actually do and take this big roof up here and actually have this little return on it. And so to do that, let's grab this roof here and we're going to edit footprint. And this one actually is done by profile. So let's create a new one by footprint. So let's go to our top view here in this 3D cube. And we're going to go to roof by footprint here. We're going to change our elevation to, let's change it to 2100 ceiling, I guess. And let's find their green roof roof type that they created here. So we're going to make this roof follow this existing profile they have here. It looks like it goes down there to the gutter. We're going to turn off the slope on these two sides. I'm just selecting both of them at the same time, turning off slope. And then this one, I'm just going to change this to UN and change our roof slope to be ratio. So let's make this a 612. Let's just see what this looks like for a second. So with our roofs, we can actually do what they're trying to right here with this little piece that comes down. And so let's just check out the slope here. So slope of this roof, because it's a roof by profile, let's just manually do this. Let's change that to a 412. It's probably a 312. That looks pretty good. Yeah, 312. So what we can actually do in our roof by footprint is we can actually click one of our lines here and we can offset from roof base. So let's just change this to be, 1 meter. Is this in millimeters? Yeah, let's just try one. I think, is this in meters? No, I think this is not meters. So let's check the units here. Units are millimeters. Okay, sorry. So let's make that 1000 here. Click this line, make that 1000. And what this is going to do is it's actually just going to raise that top height up like that. So now we have a bit more of a kink in our roof. And so we can take this a little bit further. We could make it, let's edit our footprint again. And we can make this 1 point, so it's 1200 millimeters. Let's try that. So now there's just a small kind of kink on the top. The next kind of piece of feedback I have, and this kind of goes for a lot of students, is, I think inherently we try to do what we know, I guess, in Revit. And, with this roof, let's just lower this down a little bit. I think it looks a little bit chunky. And one of the ways of solving that, and it's a really interesting strategy, is we actually can do two roofs. So let's grab this roof here and let's go to edit type and let's duplicate it. And I'm going to call this, I'm going to convert this into two roofs. So we'll call this exterior. And then we'll do another one and we'll call it interior. And meaning we're just going to split the layers up into two different parts. So we have our grass, our asphalt, and all that kind of stuff on top. So this one's the interior. So let's delete all the top interior. Yeah, let's delete all these top layers here. Everything below the roof sheeting, or everything below the roof sheeting will keep. And then let's go to our roof exterior. And we're going to keep everything, including the roof sheeting. So now our roof is a much thinner profile. And so let's move this back up like so. And let's just delete our roof here. And so that's a little bit better there. And then let's attach this curtain wall system to go up as well. So that just has a bit more volume. And then what I do is I'll duplicate this roof. We'll copy it, paste to selected levels, and place it in the same place. And then I'll change this to be the interior one. But with this, when we go to edit footprint, we'll go to our floor plan and we'll bring this inside of our walls. And by bringing it inside of our walls, we are only going to have, and I actually will bring this back just a little bit, and we're going to not define slope here and turn off that. And we'll just have a small roof kind of inside, just the inside part. So now let's just lower this down. And so just we have this kind of thinner profile on the exterior now. And in the same breath, I actually like to use this in ceiling plan. So let's go to a ceiling plan here and we'll go to our grade. And so where we have these posts on the exterior, I think sometimes it's nice to actually do some timber work. So we can go to structure, we can go to beam, and right now we just have a universal beam in here, that's fine. And so let's just drag this from kind of our wall plane, not all the way to the close to the edge, and same here. And the reason why I went to the ceiling plan was so that I'd pick the roof surface as the plane, but I didn't do that. So let's do that again. So let's go to beam. Let's go to pick plane. Won't let us pick plane. Let's go 3D snapping. Try that. Maybe let's build this along. If that's on. Okay, so that's. So this one we can just copy this number here. So copy this number here. And we'll just move it over a little bit. And it looks like we need to go down. So let's go down like 20 millimeters. So, and then we can change both of these beams to be wood. I'm just going to use my arrows to move this one over. And we'll make this one up 40. Yeah, so we'll make these wood. So let's go to insert, load Autodesk family, and let's insert timber. If I spell it right, timber. And we want to use the one that looks 3D. This would be just a 2D timber piece. We want a 3D timber piece. And it's going to ask you what sizes you want to bring in. Let's maybe bring in all the 6s and all the 8s. I just use the shift key to select all those. And I like to do that just so I have multiple sizes to work with. So let's change this to be a 6 by 12 maybe. So now we have some beamwork there holding up that part of the roof. We can take this a step further. Revit has a thing called a beam system. So under structure, beam system, we can pick or set our work plane. We can pick the plane and we can select the underside of that ceiling. And now we can draw a square here. And I'm going to draw this between our columns. And this little triple line thing here is our beam direction. So let's change that to the side. And let's change our timbers to be, I guess we'll go 6 by 10s at 1200. Or let's go 900. And so now we have some beam work in here to support our roof on that section. So anyway, just a few little tips, and then you can adjust this roof to do something similar. Um, and I think the other thing I'd maybe just critique this a little bit. I think this would also look better with a bit more of an overhang. So like so, and then we can drag these timbers out. I'm just using the tab key to not let it lock. So and we can just drag our beam system out a little bit further. So just a few tips to kind of make the roof look a little bit simpler. If you haven't already checked out the other video I did, just small things with graphics. So I love to make the walls push shade in. So we can click VG, we can click our W for wall, change our cut pattern to be solid fill black. And I mean, you could also do gray if you wanted to, but it just kind of adds a bit of pop to the drawings. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. If there's any more questions about the roof stuff, we can obviously come back to that, but hopefully that gives us a good start on kind of adapting this roof a little bit. Couple other critiques I might have here is I think it's good to keep all your windows and doors aligned at the top. So if you think about it, right now these windows and doors are below your head height. You want this door is 7 feet tall. Let's just verify that. Yeah, so 7 feet. So that's roughly 7 feet tall. So we want to keep all of our doors and windows at the same height. So I would raise all of these windows up so that they align with the top of those doors. Like so. That's going to be more congruent with what you want. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see out of those windows. And then if that's the case too, you might want to make the windows taller because now they're pretty high up. So maybe these become a taller window. So we can grab this. We can go to edit type. Let's see, do we have a taller one? No. Let's go duplicate. Maybe this becomes let's call it 1700. And let's go down to our rough height and let's change this to 1700. And now let's go down to, just lower that down. Yeah. So all of these triples, we can make that our 1700 one. And we can lower it down to 400. So now you have kind of big windows in there. This roof, I think, is at maybe a little bit too low of a slope because you probably want to have about 6 to 8 inches above this door for a lintel. So something to keep in mind. You can theoretically do it without. Theoretically, you can embed the lintel into the roof, but I think it's just easier not to. All right, we'll leave it at that for this video, and we'll come back maybe if we have some more things to look at.